This week on Theme Park Worldwide, the show, it's our Orlando special where we're going to be taking a close look at some very exciting new attractions coming to the Orlando, Florida theme parks in the next couple of years. Along with all that, we've got Merch Paradise, Interact With Me and much more. My name's Shawn Sanbrooke, this is Theme Park Worldwide, the show, and that means it's time to cue those titles. And of course, a very warm welcome to this week's episode of Theme Park Worldwide, the show. Now you might all be thinking, hang on a moment, where's Shawn this week? He's not on location at a theme park, and he's definitely not in the world of theme parks. Well, I'm actually in the Theme Park Worldwide editing suite. So we're nearly on 1,000 videos here on the channel now. And yeah, this is basically where all the magic happens. This is where I edit all my videos, very different laptops and wiring and all that sort of thing. But there is a reason why I'm here. I'm not just here because I fancied a change of scenery. I thought we'll come here because the world of theme parks, every 3 months, all the mugs come off the shelves, has a massive dust, massive overhaul, and that's what's going on at the moment. That's been going on the past couple of days here at Theme Park Worldwide HQ. So it's a little bit untidy in there, so I thought, let's go up to the editing suite instead and do the show from there. Loads to get on with them this week. Of course, we've had some brand new vlogs on the channel. I hope you've enjoyed them. Lightwater Valley went on yesterday. Very popular vlog. I know you guys like that. That's been on there. Of course, we've had some other ones go on. Drayton Manor's been on there. And of course, Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Loads going on the channel. And I know you really enjoy it. Anyway, without further ado, let's get straight in with our Orlando special. It's News Off the Rails.
Below the surface, there lies a realm that is ruled by the fin. And if you could be one of them, inspired by one of the fastest sharks on the planet. Join the frenzy at SeaWorld in summer 2016.
Now that is how to market a brand new roller coaster. Look at that, a fantastic 60-second video from the marketing team at SeaWorld Orlando for Mako, their brand new ride. So let's go a little bit into detail about Mako and also the history of the coasters at Busch Gardens. So obviously already you've got Journey to Atlantis, which is a fantastic family water coaster, really good from Mack Rides. And you've also got 2 other big coasters there manufactured by B&M. Of course you've got Kraken, which is a floorless coaster. Now that it doesn't really have much strong theming. The entrance area is nice. The station's quite plain on Kraken, but it's a great ride. It's got some great steep drops and a mix of inversions in there, which is really good. And a few years later, they installed Manta, which is a B&M flying coaster. They stepped up the theming a lot for this ride, and obviously putting a lovely queue line with rays in there, lovely exhibits of the rays you're walking through. It's an experienced coaster, and that's before you even step onto the ride and do this amazing flying coaster. Again, a mix of great drops. It's a high coaster as well, and the pretzel loop on that, really, really intense. And then now they're installing Mako, which of course is a ride from B&M as well, the 3rd B&M at the park. I love B&M coasters. They're expensive, but they're built for quality, and these rides will last a long time. Due to the quality of them. So yes, Mako, B&M Hypercoaster, 200 foot tall ride. It's not the tallest ride out there, but it is a hypercoaster at 200 feet. It's going to be nice. It's got a top speed of 73 miles per hour with 4,760 feet of track. So yeah, you've got a good length on this ride. Comparing it to a couple of hypercoasters I've been on, of course Shambhala, my personal favourites, 5,130 feet of track, so it's a little bit longer. And so is Silver Star with 5,315 feet of track. Silver Star and Shambhala quite similar in length there. But this ride does remind me very much of Silverstar's layout. However, I think the layout, it's definitely up on par with, you know, with Silverstar, if not a little bit better with this. It looks great. The end section looks quite different, the way it swoops around. You get more kick on Silverstar at the end than you do on some of the bigger camelbacks, in my opinion. So that's why I'm excited for this ride. Of course, my favourite coaster is Shambhala, which is a hyper. So you can see why I'm so built up and excited for this ride at SeaWorld. It looks great. It's going to be the tallest roller coaster in Orlando as well. How long that's going to be for, we don't know. Of course, if the big tower coaster opens in 2017, that will take the record. But they should hold it for at least a year, which is interesting. Not just the coaster you're going to get at SeaWorld Orlando. Oh no, you're getting a whole themed area with the restaurants and also shark exhibits. Hopefully they'll do the queue line through it like they did with Manta. It'd be really, really nice. I hope they do. Looks great, and that ride's opening in summer 2016. Again, we'll keep you up to date here on Theme Park Worldwide as soon as construction begins and throughout that process on the brand new ride, B&M Hypercoaster Mako, coming to SeaWorld Orlando. Now on to another exciting ride from SeaWorld Parks and Entertainments. Of course, SeaWorld and Busch Gardens are owned by the same company, and they're also investing in a brand new ride for 2016, which looks great as well. Now this is a family coaster. I like what they're doing here at the sister parks. You've got Busch going in with the family, SeaWorld going in with the thrill, and it's normally the other way round, so really, really interesting. I like what they're doing. I think it's going to be a great marketing tool for them as well. The parks will definitely bounce off each other next year. Let's look at Cobra's Curse. You saw the video there for Cobra's Curse. It looks great, and oh boy, the ride's going to be fantastic. Of course, it's manufactured by Mack Rides of Germany. Mack, one of my favourite manufacturers out there. They've done some great spinning coasters in the past. And of course this is a brand new concept for them with this style of spinning coaster. We don't still know the full details of it, in fact, but what we do know is it's got a 70-foot tall vertical lift hill, which is right next to an 80-foot tall piece of theming, which is a huge Cobra. So I'm sure that's going to look really, really good when it's finished. So once the ride climbs up this vertical lift, it's going to go through a number of sort of turnarounds and drops, making it really good ride. Really good close theming looks like from the plans as well on this, so there should be some good head choppers. We don't know a full lot about the ride, to be honest. As much as it looks great, what we do know is it's going to have an immersive queue line, obviously that 80-foot tall snake theming. It's going to take riders on a trek through the park's Serengeti Plain, which enabling them to discover the mysteries of an Egyptian archaeological excavation. Really good. Obviously it's built in the Egyptian themed area of the park. Already some really nice theming at Busch. Busch is one of the most beautiful parks I've ever visited. You've got a combination of great rides for thrill seekers, and of course Falcon's Fury, an amazing drop tower that I rode last year in its opening year. Amazing ride, so it's great to see him going with a brand new family coaster. Just what that park needs, and I look forward to getting out there and trying this new ride. Looks really good there, and of course we'll be following the construction of Cobra's Curse here on Theme Park Worldwide. It looks fantastic. I mean, like I say, it's great to see the park going in with a family ride and SeaWorld going in with a thrill. It's going to be very, very interesting game changer for both parks. Definitely going to be an interesting one to watch over in Orlando. So next up in our Orlando special of the show this week, moving over now to Universal Orlando Resort. So much investment's gone into that park in the past 5-6 years. Loads of new rides have gone in there, which is great to see, and that's going to continue even more. So some of you might remember going to Universal quite a few years ago and riding Confrontation. Based on King Kong, it was based in New York, and it looked like a really good ride. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it myself. All I've seen is videos of it. That closed in 2002, and since then, people have always missed a King Kong ride at the park. Until next year, when Universal Orlando will be revealing Skull Island Reign of Kong. This is a much bigger, much more advanced and immersive ride, says Mike West, who is the executive producer of the ride. So let's have a little look then at what we're going to get. It's going to be a completely different experience in a completely different environment. Confrontation took place in New York City. This takes place in Kong's world for the very first time. Let's have a little look then at the concept image. Look at that just there. You can see it starts outside. You're going to jump onto one of these vehicles before heading inside a massive show building. And it looks fantastic theming. I mean, the construction is well underway for this ride. I would say it's going to be finished in the next couple of months, the exterior, but all that theming work is going to be going on the inside, making it a huge attraction, one of the biggest attractions at the park. The show building looks huge. I mean, when I was there in September, you might remember me looking round and getting some footage of it before we knew it was confirmed to be Kong coming back. Not many details on this ride. Universal are quite secretive, but what we do know is that it's going to have 3D screens in there and a mix of animatronics and large theming as well. Much like Transformers the ride. That's much like that. You've got the screens, but you've got the right amount of theming as well. Same with Spider-Man over in Islands of Adventure as well. Great to see. This ride, of course, is in Islands of Adventure. It's right next to the Jurassic Park ride, actually, which is going to be really, really good. Sort of fitting great into that area as you're walking around in IOA, so it's great to see. So, with the ride, the journey begins outdoors where guests will board the expedition vehicle, what we saw just in the concept image. They'll explore the mysterious jungles of the island. At some point, they'll pass through the 70-foot tall Great Wall into the show building. Once in there, we don't really know much about it. It's all a big surprise, but the experience will rank up a bit. It takes place with a massive indoor sets, and the expedition turns into a fight for survival. So it's going to be interesting. That's all we know, what's been released in the press release from the park. I do like how secretive Universal are, you know, and it keeps us on our toes as enthusiasts. Looking forward to seeing that next year when it's complete. Really good theming on that. Definitely one of the best themed experiences gone in there at Universal Orlando. Finally then, in our Orlando special, it's still at Universal Orlando Resort, and it's their brand new park coming in for 2017. So, they've got 2016 with Kong there. 2017 is the third theme park opening. You've got Universal Studios, you've got Islands of Adventure, and now they're opening Volcano Bay, a brand new water park based on the tropical islands with a huge volcano in the middle. It looks like from the concept image there's a slide coming down it with some sort of glass tunnel. Looks amazing, it really, really does. So it's called Volcano Bay. And let's have a look at a rendering of it. So there you go, you can just see from the concept image the rendering there. You can see the volcano in the middle, huge volcano, not too sure on the height of that yet. But it looks like there's going to be smoke effects coming out. Will it do some sort of water blast out every so often? Who knows what could happen. This is Universal Creative. They've done some great things in the past. And look at what they've created with Harry Potter and Diagon Alley. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, looking at that, it looks great. You can see some slides and stuff in the background. You see like a yellow slide, and also looks like a wave pool going on there. Again, that's all we know about this project. It was only released this week. And again, here on Theme Park Worldwide, we'll keep you up to date with that project as it moves on. Really, really good there. Hope you've enjoyed our Orlando news. Like I say, so much going on in Orlando for next year. And I'm sure here on Theme Park Worldwide, we'll be there to cover it all here for the channel. That's all then for this week's news. Let's have a little bit of Guess the Coaster.
Like a roller coaster, move and shake me side to side. Yes, then no, but make me right. Like a roller coaster.
Everybody loved this section. Of course, it's time for Guess the Coaster. Just for fun then, what was it last week? Of course, it was quite an easy one. It was the Wild Mouse at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I think pretty much everybody got that right in the comments down below. So thank you to everybody that commented. You're all doing really good this year with, I guess, the coasters. After a few more episodes, we're going to be moving to some other rides. We're not just going to be doing coasters. We're going to have some dark ride sound effects, some water rides maybe. So we're going to vary it up a bit later in the year. So we'll see how that one goes and see how you guys respond to them answers. So let's have another one for this week then. It's time for yet another, here on Theme Park Worldwide, the show, Guess the Coaster. Stop. There we go. That's it for this week. All you need to do is comment below your answer. Remember guys, it's just for fun, but I do love reading them. I read all your comments down below, and definitely it's great to see what you guys think it is. I'll reveal what that coaster was for you next week, and also give you a brand new one to guess.
Questions, questions, questions everywhere.
So it's time for Ask Me Anything. I'm sure you all know how this section works by now. 4 questions you guys sent in. I have a first look at them now and answer them for you. So there we go, that's how it rolls. First one then is from Ben, and he's asked, when visiting parks in Europe, do you have any trouble with the language barrier, and do you have any tips for people who go abroad with the language barrier? So basically, good question there, Ben. Here's one for you. Basically, out there in Europe, the parks might seem like, oh God, it's scary. How do I get to the parks? Navigate with trains and transport and metros and that sort of thing. Well, the thing is, a lot of it is in English. Pretty much everything is in English. Yes, say you're in France, you'll have the French first, but it's in English and you can work it your way through. So do not worry. The best thing to do if you don't know is ask somebody at an info stand. And the majority, remember, English is a language that's spoke all around the world. People, most people do know it. So you are going to get by. You'll be absolutely fine. Of course, one of my first times to Germany a few years ago, I struggled and I asked someone and there we go. Gave me the exact answer. It's what I wanted. All the signs there at these parks in Germany, Italy, English, all in English, which is really, really good. So it's definitely worth not putting off a trip just because of the language barrier. So that's a good question. Thanks for that, Ben. Eleanor Maddox, what's the worst theme park hotel you've ever stayed in? Oh dear, well to be honest, every theme park hotel that I've stayed in has been nice. Some better than others, so I'm going to judge this one on that fact. I love Portaventura and I love their hotels. But the Hotel Gold River, I've got one complaint with it, and that's the fact is, with it being built around the back of the park in the Far West themed area, if you want to go down into Salou, which is the local area, say you want to go out at night like we did, or you want to just go down some of the local shops, you've got to walk all the way up a massive road to walk back down. It takes a good 25 minutes, when really, if they put a gate in, it would take about 10 minutes. So that's what I'm going to say for this one. Doesn't mean it's a bad hotel though, it's beautiful. I love the Gold River, it's well themed, but that's all I could really say for this question because it's such a hard one for me. All the hotels I've stayed in the parks are lovely, but that's the one that I always think, oh, it would be so much better if they put that. Just a simple gate in, even if it's a coded gate, you scan your room key, to let you in. I can see why they don't want to do it. Just a normal gate without a passcode on it, else you get people just walking up to it. They want to keep it a bit more exclusive. That's fair enough, Portaventura, but just put a nice coded gate in, either with a code or scan your room key to get in. So thanks for that, good question there. Alexander sent in, what's your favourite Vekoma coaster in the UK? Oh, a tough question. I love Velocity at Flamingo Land, but I do love Jubilee Odyssey at Fantasy Island. When that's operating at Fantasy Island, it's absolutely great. So it's going to be Jubilee Odyssey. A massive coaster. It might be an SLC, but it's nowhere near as rough as the other ones like Infusion and all the other ones I've done. So there you go. Best Vekoma for me in the country. Finally then is Leo Waters with, if someone asked you to design a brand new coaster element, what would it be called and what would it do? Now I had a dream about this the other night actually, and it might sound a bit crazy, some of you might think what the hell, but it will be a launched wooden coaster. Imagine it, I don't know how they'd do it, it'd have to be obviously it'd have to be maybe a hybrid coaster, much like Twisted Colossus with some steel structure, or maybe, you could do it, and some sort of launch mechanism on a wooden coaster. Don't ask me how, I've not got the brains to do it, but I'd love to ride it. So thanks for all your questions. If you've got any, tweet them in guys at ThemeParkWW on Twitter, or as a private message on the Theme Park Worldwide Facebook page. Drop us a like while you're there, all sorts of news and competitions going on throughout the week. So yes, it is time for Merch Paradise, and this week it's a really special one. The reason behind that is I've got something really great to show you guys. Now, all of you must know by watching the shows and the vlogs how much I love Disney and how much I'd love to get to, and I will get there one day, Tokyo Disney Sea. It looks like a beautiful park out there in Tokyo, and well, my friend has just been and she's brought me back some really nice items. Really appreciate it. First off is this beautiful bag. Look at that there, from Disney's Easter 2015, literally just been a few weeks ago, which is great. Got a guide map there to Disney Sea. Look at the front of that. If you don't know much about the park, it's got like a huge volcano in the middle, which looks amazing. Let's open up this map. Ooh, look to the inside. Look at that there. There we go. Really nice. You can't really see that in full detail, but you can just see the general idea. Again, guys, going back to Ask Me Anything, you know, the maps are available at these parks in English as well. You're not expected to learn all different languages, which is great. Universal Studios Japan, got one of those there. Really nice leaflets. And my favourite thing, what she's brought me back, is this, a Tokyo Disney Resort pin badge. Look at that. Really nice. Thank you very much to my friend for giving me all that. I really do appreciate it. It's going to go pride of place at the world of theme parks. Let's have a little look at what you guys have sent in then for me this week. So you've got Melanie Lowe with Stitch merchandise and a Minnie Mouse keyring from Disneyland Paris. Really nice. Ian Anderson, selection of theme park mugs from Alton Towers and Thorpe Park. Really good selection that you've got there. Samuel has got a selection of Alton Towers merch, including ride t-shirts. Loads of t-shirts you got there. You're never going to be stuck for anything theme parky to wear. Loving that. Morgan Beinstein with a Fright Night lanyard and pop badges from Chessington. I love them little pop badges they do. They need to do them at all the Merlin parks. It'd be really good. Jack Holmes with a vampire resin. The resins are great, especially that vampire one. The colours on it are really nice, and the train as well. Really good. And finally, Jenny Cousins with some merchandise from her recent trip to Disneyland Paris. If you've got anything you want to be here in Merch Paradise on the show, all you need to do is tweet it in at ThemeParkWW or send it as a PM on the Theme Park Worldwide Facebook page. So it's time for the final section of this very action-packed show here on Theme Park Worldwide. Hope you've enjoyed our Orlando special earlier, all the different news going on. Really is an exciting time for the parks, and it's time for Interact with me. Let's have a little look at what I've had sent in for this week's show. Will Donahue has recently been to PortAventura and rode Shambhala. I know he loved it. He said it was absolutely great, and there is his on-ride photo. Thanks for that, Will. Glad you had a great time. Alton Towers Obsession's got a Minecraft version of the towers at Alton Towers. Really good then. Don't really understand Minecraft and how it works. I know you build things and stuff, but it looks great there. Really good. Thanks for that. Dean Johnson, you all know Dean from the vlogs. He sent in a special one this week where he completed the Treetop Quest at Alton Towers. There he is on one of the courses there. They've got a junior course and a high ropes course. And thanks for that, Dean, and sending that in for me. Charlie Brooks with a vampire on-ride photo from Chesterton World of Adventures. Freyla Kelf with a photo of me at the turnstiles. Sorry for pronouncing your name wrong there. As you know, I'm awful at pronouncing names. I'm sure you all know that by now, but thanks for sending it in. I do really appreciate it. And finally, you've got Jake Walden, also with a photo of me at the turnstiles, who's a big fan of Theme Park Worldwide and the show. That's all then for this week's episode. Hope you've enjoyed it this week. Action-packed, really good. Loads of stuff to come on the channel this week, including a vlog from Flamingo Land, and also something a little bit different, as we've done a city vlog from York, much like the ones we've done over the past couple of years from London, Manchester, Paris and Barcelona. We've gone to York, done a separate one from there, so that'll be worth checking out. Done some of the local attractions in there, which is great. Hope you've enjoyed the show then this week. I'll see you next week here on the channel, and thank you very much for watching. My name's Shawn Sanbrooke. Keep watching Theme Park Worldwide, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later, guys. Have an amazing week.